Greetings everyone, this is Connor from DagoraC TV, and in this video we're talking about where the Elder Scrolls 6 will be set. So this is going to be a little mini-series that I'm going to be doing on the channel, where I'm going to be going through all the possible locations for the Elder Scrolls 6, covering all the provinces in Tamriel, except Skyrim and Cyrodiil. I'll talk about what could happen if the game was going to be set there, and whether my opinion is whether it's going to be set there or not, and if it is going to be set in said province, then I'll talk about what I would like, and whether actually I'd like the game to be set there. So, we are actually going to be excluding Skyrim and Cyrodiil for the reasons because Skyrim was in Elder Scrolls 5 and Cyrodiil in Elder Scrolls 4. Morrowind is going to be staying as a possibility though, and I'll explain that when we cover Morrowind in the video. In this video though, I thought we'd start from north, west, and we'll go anti-clockwise around, so we're going to be going to High Rock. So, a little background on High Rock: it is home to the Bretons and has not been featured in an Elder Scrolls single player game since Shadowkey, and not in a major installment since Daggerfall. There are 5 kingdoms squabbling at this time in High Rock, compared to the hundreds that was in the first and second era. We're in the 4th era at the minute, so the kingdoms have kind of gone down, diminished over time to 5 kingdoms, which are fighting over the time in the 4th era. Wayrest is the dominating power in the west of Tamriel, and Orsinium is expanding under the role of Gortwog Gro Nagorn. So these are 2 interesting features that could be used in an Elder Scrolls game. The 5 kingdoms thing, maybe be able to pick on the side, you know, like kind of like it was in the Civil War in Skyrim, but this time you've got 5 different sides and you've got interesting personality in each of the categories. And it'd be really fun to experience the different cultures that each one possesses and the differences in why they want to take over, you know, High Rock and have their own rule. The whole thing with Orsinium, you know, is really a cool idea because, you know, that always comes under scrutiny and then rises up again with the new rule and then goes down again and rises up. You know, it's very interesting, you know, the orc culture, and combining the 2 would be a great idea. And you meeting this Gortwog Gro Nagorn, or whatever his name is, the orc, would be really interesting, and I think it'd be cool, you know, to have maybe take part in this orc invasion of High Rock and maybe try and expand. But it says here that the alliance is going strong, and there has been a couple of skirmishes, you know, between the 2 sides, but never been a full-blown war. But we know how hot-headed these orcs are, and, you know, if the Bretons screw over them in a business deal, which is likely for them to do in the lore, then we could really see a full-out war, or maybe, you know, take part in the expansion and the rebuilding of Orsinium. You know, they're expanding, it says. So it'd be great, you know, to maybe, you know, build up more of Orsinium, you know, take that settlement system from Fallout and kind of put it into the Elder Scrolls and have Orsinium, you know, become a powerhouse that what it could be, you know, have this major fortress and being able to go back and forth from, you know, High Rock to Orsinium because they're very close to each other would be really good, would be really great. I'd really, you know, there's a lot to explore, you know, in High Rock, you know, especially with the, you know, with the port at Wayrest, as it's got the whole peninsula at High Rock, as you can see, and it'd be really cool idea, you know, to do the pirates over there, and, you know, combat system, maybe a naval combat system would be really cool to do around the peninsula, and pirates coming in to try and take goods away and stuff. There is definitely a lot you can do. High Rock, however, is only half the size of Skyrim, so if you are going to play as an Elder Scrolls game in there, is definitely going to be more compact and nowhere near as big as what Skyrim was going to be, even with Orsinium included, because Orsinium is only a small area. I think it would lead to a really good main story if they did have it in High Rock, but with it being a generally stable province of the Empire, I don't see them doing much with it. I don't see them going to High Rock unless there was a really big change during the course of the game. Plus, I also think it's unlikely because I also feel that they want to finish up the Thalmor and Aldmeri Dominion story. I mean, High Rock is doing relatively well at this time compared to the other provinces. I mean, Hammerfell, you know, there's some fighting going on there for the power. In Morrowind and Argonia there is. Skyrim, we know what happened over there. And also, you know, the Aldmeri Dominion forces in the south. I mean, there's definitely other provinces which have much more interesting stories to go on. If High Rock was picked, you know, I would say the naval combat system and fighting powers would be really cool, and also the culture of the country as well. You know, the religion is the most interesting thing about High Rock, as they worship 12 divines and not 9 and not 8. You know, they have a few extra gods and a few different gods than what the traditional religion is. Taking part in trading as well in High Rock would be good if they was going to have it there. I would also really appreciate having this orc versus Breton thing going on, which has happened so many times throughout the ages, and that Kickstarter and maybe the destruction of Orsinium again would be a really cool quest to take part in, and is really possible now with these upgraded consoles. The whole thing as well with the 5 kingdoms squabbling at this time in High Rock, you know, getting that violence in, maybe diminishing a kingdom completely, maybe it will streamline you into one of them, but with the Elder Scrolls choice and being it the way it is, I'd like you to be able to naturally go down one of these paths and be able to pick which one of the kingdoms you'd like to follow, which has always been a cool way in the Elder Scrolls games, because, you know, in Skyrim with the Imperials and the Stormcloaks, I think the first time everyone naturally went to one of the 2 sides. You know, it wasn't really weighing up the 2 options unless you'd seen a playthrough for the first time, but I think that way would be really cool to go to, and plus you've got 5 different playthroughs to kind of go down as well, which is a lot of different options. Plus it is like Elder Scrolls to have so many different factions. I mean, we had so many in Morrowind, and also so many in the Redguard game. I mean, it's definitely like Elder Scrolls to do this, and I wouldn't be surprised if they ever did a High Rock game to do that. Elephant in the room is the Thalmor and Almeri Dominion. It wasn't finished up. I feel like they will want to finish it up before they move on to another story, and I feel High Rock, to be honest, is at the bottom of the list, with it being kind of one of the most dull provinces in Tamriel. You know, location wise it's very much very green, very grass orientated, very foresty, but nothing on the scale of, you know, Valenwood or Cyrodiil. But if they was going to do it, I would see High Rock being doubled up with another province, because it is so small compared to the others. It is the smallest one of the provinces excluding Orsinium. So overall, I'm going to say it is very unlikely. In the next video we are going to be going to Hammerfell and checking out there. Leave your comments below whether you would like a game in the Elder Scrolls series in High Rock, and whether you'd actually like a game over in the Daggerfall areas at all. Plus leave your comments below of what you think of this High Rock stuff going on, you know, with Orsinium building up, with the 5 kingdoms and the culture and everything going there. Do you think it would be cool to have a game in High Rock and have some of, you know, the trading features and settlement features in the game there and everything? Also make sure you subscribe, because I've got some Middle-earth lore videos coming up and a lot more Elder Scrolls series videos coming up, as the one you've already seen on the channel so far is definitely going to be building up. So overall, thanks for watching. If you want to donate to the channel, you can donate via the Patreon link or the PayPal link in the description below, or there'll be an annotation on screen for that right now. And also make sure you follow us on Twitter at DagoraC. So once again, thanks for watching, and goodbye.